Peace, girlfriends. Peace, peace, peace. This is Angela Jordan Perry, and it is that time. It's that time for another interview. So, you all come on in and let me know where you are viewing us from. I'm in a totally different setup. Right now, I got a house full of people, and so I had to scramble real fast and find a new location. So, prayerfully, all will go well. There won't be any surprises, and we will make excited about this evening's interview and who we have. Here she is. She's on. All right. Hi, Traverro.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So I told you I had to scramble, and make this happen in a new location. So I'm going to go ahead and share it real quick to the Girlfriends Guide page. Just give me a quick moment, and we will be all set.
Okay.
Hi, Melanie. Come on in. As you all come in, let us know where you're viewing us from. If this is your first time seeing this this show, hit a one below if this is your first time. And if this is what you do and you are always sure to catch Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, then hit a two, put a two below, okay? A one if this is your first time, two if you have seen this before. And there we go. I have shared it. Are you able to share while you're on the phone? Did you figure that out?
No.
No.
So I'm going to have to share
All
afterwards.
right, that'll work. Okay. All right, I'm going to share one more spot and then we'll be set. So yeah, this is a neat. Oh, so I have my family. Hey, yes, from Jacksonville, Florida. I have my family in, and so I had to come up with a new plan. I forgot that I need a new location to do my interviews now because my house is full of love and movement and talking and all sorts of stuff. Two below, yay, Melanie. Hey, Janelle. All right, so we're going to be set and we're going to go ahead and get going here. All right, I got my volume down. We all good on that? I got that. All right, here we go. Three, two, one. Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. I am turned up for today's interview. Woo-hoo! I cannot wait, and I'm excited to jump into this interview with our guest today. Hey, Carolyn. So, as you all come in, let me know where you are viewing us from. If you are wondering who in the world are these two melanated queens in your Facebook feed, no worries. I'm going to tell you right now what this is all about. This is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling with your host, Angela Jordan Perry. And this is episode, what are we, number 105, 105.
Woo!
My purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. And this platform that you're watching here on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, this platform is to give voice to the African homeschooling diaspora, where we say hashtag we homeschool too. It's a lot of us out there homeschooling. And my desire is to connect us, to find us, and share your story, your journey, your successes. Allow other homeschoolers, like today we had Traverro, to share their insights, encouragements, wisdom, do this or don't do this, just to share their voices, okay? So what you need to know is that our children are thriving in homeschooling. They're experiencing lives of freedom, who they are, autonomy over themselves. This is one small reason why we homeschool. So let me just let you know a little bit about myself. I'm Angela Jordan Perry. I am a homeschooling mom now of 18 years, homeschooling 8 children, 3 of which my husband and I have already graduated. One became an entrepreneur, one went off into the military, and one went off to college. And she just finished up her first year, about to start her sophomore year. And I always finish my kids off soon. So if you want to hear about that journey, how I graduate them at 15 and 16, send them on off to their destinations of how they do that, I love to share that with you. But we are self-sustaining farmers here in the upstate of South Carolina, where we make our home. So that's a part of what we do. And I mentioned to you that my purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. I do that first, serving my community right here in South Carolina. I'm an Option 3 Accountability Association owner, director, and administrator. What that means is I give families legal rights to homeschool in the state of South Carolina. So if you're in South Carolina, give a shout out, woohoo. And if you're homeschooling and you're not with me, I'm going to ask you why. Why? So you can find out more about me at uchunlimited.com if you're homeschooling in South Carolina and want to know what to do and how to get started and do so legally. Okay. Also, I have this platform right here, Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry, and a podcast, Girlfriends Chat with Angela Jordan Perry on all of your podcast stations, and also Educating Our Own. Find me at www.edourown.com. All of those platforms are specifically to bring encouragement, empowerment, all that good stuff, resources for those of the African diasporic community. If you're homeschooling or you're considering homeschooling, you need to get connected to those three resources. I'm on YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram. Find me, okay? So, all right, so as you come in, let me know where you're viewing us from. Also, let us know if this is your first time viewing Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Put a 1 below. If you have seen us before, put a 2 below, all right? So now, let me ask you this. Traverro.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready to make this happen?
I am ready to make this happen. Yes.
All right, let's do it. Let me tell you about Traverro Girlfriends. Traverro L. Harden-Ali. She says of herself, very simply, she didn't say a lot of flamboyant stuff, but I had to embellish it a little bit. But this is a little bit about our interviewee. She is a wife, mother of 5, 4 of which she is homeschooling. She is a published author. First book, Black, Female, and Rising. The Black Woman's Guide to Getting Her Mind Right About Her Money. I love that title.
Mm-hmm.
And she recently released Homeschooling While Black, Our Family's Journey to Consciously and Purposefully Educating Our Black Children. Also, Traverro is the owner of owner of Homeschool Consultation and Resource Business, which is called Homeschooling While Black. This is a business which provides consultation services and educational resources to help parents begin and succeed in their children's primary years of homeschooling. Former radio personality at 104.5 FM, Money Thursdays with Traverro. Former clinical education coordinator and co-director of medical education for a North Carolina medical school. Founder and executive director of the Fayetteville Women's Council on Empowerment. So Traverro, I just told the girlfriend just a little bit about you. I'm sure that was just a service. If there's anything else you'd like to share with us, please do. But also let us know how you got started in your homeschooling journey.
Okay. Well, I think you shared so much about me already, so I'm going to leave it there. But our homeschool journey began back in 2016, actually. I pretty much knew early that I wanted my children to have a quality education. I knew that I wanted to be really hands-on. I just did not always know that that would have been homeschooling. So fast forward to 2016, I was at work at my corporate job, and I fell ill psychologically. I just had a nervous breakdown basically at work. And my father passed shortly, and it caused me to reevaluate the way that I wanted to continue the family legacy. My father, although I was not formally homeschooled, my dad was a very hands-on parent. So he was very big on history, science, art, and critical thinking. So it paved the way for me to already know what kind of skills I wanted my kids to have. And when I assessed our local education situation, I knew that traditional schooling was not going to do it. So August of 2016, I officially registered as a former homeschool in in the state of North Carolina, and I began formally homeschooling my eldest son, who is now 7, and basically the 6, the one who is currently 6, but was 4 at the time. He just kind of stayed home and watched. And what do you know? With him watching and just being there, he picked up on pretty much everything that the 7-year-old picked up on, who was 5 at the time. So we completed our first homeschool year. We never really stopped, to be honest. Like, our homeschool goes year round, to be honest. We just take breaks when we need to. But that is basically what happened and how we started.
Wow, wow. Okay, so tell us the ages of your children.
My children, I do have a soon to be 16-year-old. I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Okay, 16, 7, 6, 5, and 3. And you're homeschooling 4, the older 4, not the 3-year-old baby? Or the younger?
I am homeschooling the 3, 5, 6, and 7-year-old.
Okay, the younger 4. Okay, you're homeschooling the younger 4. All right. So kudos to you, Traverro, for number one, just if nothing else, other than to say assessing the educational landscape in which your children are about to enter into, and then you're saying that is not what I want to do for my kids. That's not what I want. Had you seen anyone homeschooling before? Had you been in homeschool circles or connected to any homeschooling mamas?
This is what I will say. I knew who actually got me into the concept of homeschooling is Baba Baye Kemet. I met him at my first Sankofa conference in Washington, D.C. back in 2011. And he did a workshop that was basically about African-centered education, and one of those options of providing that for your children was homeschooling. So that was really the first time that I was formally introduced to homeschooling and the benefits. And then back in 2015, I was introduced to a homeschooling mom locally, and she was homeschooling 3 children. And she also was running a daycare, a full-time daycare from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And she told me all of the wonderful things that was happening for her kids. And her kids were so well-mannered, and they was just so mature, and the knowledge that they had. And I said, well, if she can do this and she can run her business full-time, then I know coming out of work and doing this full-time, I think I can hold this down.
Wow.
So yes.
Okay, so when you jumped in and you got started, what was this first year of homeschooling like, in 2016?
You know what? For me, Angela, I did not go into homeschooling with kind of elaborate ideas of having my children graduate by the time they're 10 and learning how to read right away and write. What I wanted to do was focus on character building and character development. And I wanted to ensure that I was doing things that could create a lifelong love of learning, knowing, and growing.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So our first year was full of exploration. So we were really unschooling. We were basically, I got the local guide to our public library, and every event that they had that was coinciding with the extracurricular schedule that they had, we just went and we explored.
Wow.
We checked out about 40 or 50 books per week. We were doing African centered story time. We were doing songs. We were taking walks, going outside, talking about plants and flowers and bugs. We would go to local concerts and they could hear music and instruments. Wherever there was an opportunity to give them a free dose of like gymnastics, taekwondo, soccer, basketball, football, anything free that was a free clinic, we were doing. And lo and behold, my children just kind of took off into their own lane.
Beautiful.
But I pretty much concentrated our first year on ensuring that the character development was there.
Okay.
Because you can have all of the knowledge in the world, but if you have no morals, beliefs, and a moral compass, then it's really, you're just wandering to nowhere. And the why behind what we're doing, why we're doing, is because we want children with great character and right knowledge to live as sovereign Africans in a life of abundance. We don't want them to know lack. We want them to know that they have a direct responsibility to their family, community, and the world around them.
Beautiful. I love it. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that was your first year, pretty much an unschooling look, discovery, finding themselves, finding what they like, being exposed to a plethora of things. So
absolutely.
How long did it take you? And also, that was a process of deschooling. I mean, for me, I would imagine
absolutely
total deschooling, opposite of what if they went to public school, what they would have. Did your kids ever go to public school?
They have never been to public school ever.
Not really deschooling so much, but maybe for you, maybe it's more so you deschooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So at what point in that journey did you decide to incorporate some more structure? How long did it take to go through that process until you felt like, you know what, this is how I want our schooling to look like?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, Angela, what I saw happen was about the 4th month. So we started in like August. Around December or January, I noticed we were concentrating on about 6 different areas all the time. They were religion and spirituality, history, reading and writing, language arts, math, science, and entrepreneurship. Okay. Those were the things, if we were doing anything, it was going to be dropped in one of those buckets.
Gotcha.
So once I saw that, it was easy to see what they were leaning towards. And so now that has just become the bulk of what we do.
Gotcha. Beautiful. Again, kudos to you. Excellent.
I appreciate that.
And I say that because for someone, one, who didn't have a huge circle of those who homeschool, you hadn't seen it. And so that was probably to your benefit. You had no one else to really copycat from or measure yourself against. So kudos.
Yes. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. It's just like the guy who was running the that race, where he didn't realize that most people stopped running at night and they slept. And he continued running throughout the night and he won the marathon, and he had never won it. But all of these people that were like world renowned athletes were looking like what? So sometimes not looking and comparing to like other people actually can be a good thing within within homeschooling. So
Absolutely.
I learned that.
Absolutely. That's huge. That's huge. And that's so much freedom lifted because yeah,
Absolutely.
all good stuff. We have to talk more about that on the podcast. So kudos to you for sure. So take us to now, you've been homeschooling since 2016, coming into your third year. Is this your third year you're coming into?
Absolutely. Yes.
So coming into your third year, take us to your worst day in that first 2 years that you just now finished up. Take us to your worst day, Traverro, that you were just ready to quit. You were done. You were over it. I can't do this. What am I doing? Take us to that day where you almost quit, but you didn't. And this is why you're this amazing homeschool mom that you are today.
Absolutely. So I want to be honest because I knew you were going to ask me that because I've watched so many interviews. So I knew that was coming. And I have to honestly say that there has never been a time where I thought that. Never ever. It just has not come up. I can tell you that one of my most challenging days was when my bipolar depression just came up all of a sudden out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't really see the signs of it. I don't think I was really paying attention. And what I was doing was running with the kids, going here, going there. And just one morning, I could not get up. I was not motivated. I did not have the energy. I just was not functioning normally at all. And I had to call my husband who's out on the road. I called a friend and I called my mother. And my mom came like right away. I think she was here within like 16 hours from Georgia. And a friend came over and she fed the kids and all that jazz. And that was when I began first seeking therapy for what I was going through.
Wow, wow. And I know this is not one of the questions I normally ask, but since this is such a unique, I would consider you in the two categories of homeschooling. So this platform definitely is for those who are of the African diasporic homeschooling community, and then those who are in the margins. I would also consider you in the margins because you, as a mom, have a special need. You know, you just shared a little bit
Absolutely.
about your bipolar and your depression. So you would be in the margins. You're not in the center where there's a whole lot of people who are dealing that. Can you talk just a little bit, briefly, what this journey is like as a mom with special needs? Do you feel like you're doing it successful? Are moms or dads with special needs even able to, really get this job done and say that they're actually homeschooling? Can you speak to us who are not knowledgeable on that and just give us some insights into your world a bit, Traverro?
Absolutely. What I would say is, and just shortly, bipolar is a mental health mood disorder. Many people are used to it being called manic depressive. So you have some episodes of like being really high on life. You can do a lot in like a short period of time. You can stay up for 2, 3, or 4 days at a time with these great ideas and just knocking it out, writing books, doing online courses. And then there are times where your levels biologically in your body will not allow you to move or turn over in the bed. So for me, I would say that my experience has been that you can absolutely, as a parent with a special needs, homeschool. The number one thing that is most important is actually acknowledging that there is an issue that can get in the way of the structure of your homeschooling day. Okay, number one. Two, support. Support is the biggest thing for me. I have a small yet committed and devout support system. I do a number of things for self care, for myself daily that actually helps me to really have a really stable mood. And those things are things that I have been working on over the last 2 years. This is a day-to-day journey. Okay, so it has been doable, and I think that it is succeeding for us because although I am aware of what's going on with me, I am very open to ways of naturally and healthily dealing with my current diagnosis.
Wow, wow, wow. And so I just want to let you know that Traverro is going to be one of our village elders, and she has a lot to say on this very topic, special need parent homeschooling. And I think she's going to be a blessing to our community because honestly, Traverro, this is not something that we talk about in the Black community and the African diasporic community. We don't talk about any type of special needs or mental health challenges or what have you. It's all taboo. And now you mix that in with homeschooling, and then you might be that person, they looked upon as with someone with a unicorn, a horn out of their head, like,
Yes.
So I am thrilled to have connected with you, and I'm thrilled for your journey and sharing because you're doing it now, going into 3 years strong, homeschooling your children. So kudos to you for being in it, and in spite of yourself, being willing to do what you have to do for your kids. So
absolutely.
Way to go, girl. So take us to your most memorable day of homeschooling. You don't have any days where it made you want to quit, except for the personally. Take
oh man,
a day where you're like, wow, this is why I homeschool. This right here. This is why I do what I do. Maybe it even brings you to tears. Share that moment with us, Traverro.
Yeah. I think my most memorable day for homeschooling, I have a 7-year-old son who has been doing and training in gymnastics since he was 3 years old. And he was at his school of gymnastics training, and there was a special person there. And they were watching my son. And I noticed that I had never really met this person, didn't really know who they were at the time, but they were a very, let's just say, famous person. And they were observing him, and I saw them go and they were talking to him. And they were asking him things, and I saw that he had his hands behind his back. He was looking them in the eyes and like he was responding. And the man went, where is this kid's parents? And I raised my hand and he waved me over. He said, where does this kid go to school? Because he is so young and he is so gifted and he speaks so well, and the way he carries himself. I said, well, he's homeschooled. And they were like, well, let me talk to you about that afterwards. And so that was like a really proud moment for me because it was a culmination of everything that we had been training him up in within homeschool. And in that one instance, it not only was very clear to people outside of our home, but it opened up a new opportunity for my child to move forward at a very young age in his sports career.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Way to go, mama. That's awesome. That's amazing. Very proud moment. Very proud moment.
Thank you.
All right, girlfriends, this is the part of the show. We're about to transition to our second half of the show. But before we do that, I have to ask you to hit the share button. So go ahead and hit the share button because you just never know who is in the homeschooling community who needs to hear this or who needs this encouragement, this enlightenment, a new way of doing things or considering things. So I appreciate all your hearts. Thank you, Alashonda. I appreciate your heart, your thumbs up for Traverro. Ali is who we have today on the show out of North Carolina. She's really close by. I'm here in South Carolina, so we are very close by here. So hit the share button, and if this is your first time seeing this show, please hit a one, put a one down below in the comment section. And if you've seen this show before and this is what you do, you make sure you catch these interviewees on here, hit the number 2, put it down below in the comment section, okay? So again, I'm Angela Jordan Perry here with Traverro Ali, homeschooling mom of, she has 5 children, 4 of whom she's homeschooling. So on this part of the show, Traverro, these are some questions to pick your brain, quick answers you can give us. If you're wondering why I always ask these same questions, it's because they're always the questions that people want to know. They're going to help them towards their journey of success in starting homeschooling, okay? All right, Traverro, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So what is your favorite quote or mantra that you use to help you through this homeschooling journey?
All things are well and getting better.
All right, all things are well and getting better. Now, do you plan to homeschool all the way through to the end, whatever that end is?
Absolutely.
Good deal. What is something that's unique to the Harden-Ali family and their homeschool that you all do that, you know, you're proud? This is what we do. We represent this in our school, and share that thing with us.
I don't know if it is really unique, but we absolutely, without a doubt, knew going into homeschooling that entrepreneurship would be something that our children would do as soon as they could walk, talk, and sell something. So I would say us having entrepreneurship as part of our ongoing curriculum, and the fact that the boys are actually running a profitable business at 5, 6, and 7.
Oh, say that last part again. They're running a successful, what did you say?
A successful and profitable business at 5, 6, and 7.
All right, beautiful. What is it that they do? Tell us what they do.
Their business is called Three Brothers Stand. You can find them on Facebook at Three Brothers Stand NC. They started off as a lemonade stand, and they now sell a lemonade, handmade African fabric bow ties and headbands and bracelets and other jewelry that they hand make here at home in arts and crafts for kids. So they wanted their own line of things that they could wear, and now they also make those same products for kids, and they sell locally, regularly, and online.
Wow, neat. Oh. So is that the number 3 Brothers Stand INC, or is it spelled out?
Yes,
Brothers
ma'am.
Stand INC. Which one? The latter?
3, the number 3, Brothers Stand NC, and the NC stands for North Carolina.
Oh, okay, gotcha. 3 Brothers Stand NC. Way to go. Excellent. You all be sure to go on there and support these young brothers who are entrepreneurs and homeschool students. So I love it. All right, so tell me, is there a book or a CD or some resource that's in your homeschooling library that you feel every schooling family of the African diasporic community should have?
Oh, yes. So we utilize the 42 Laws of Mayat for Children, written by Kajara Nebhet of the Ra Seki Temple. And we read those 42 comedic laws every morning when we wake up, and we recite them every night before bed.
Okay, I'm gonna have you be sure to, uh, when you at the end of our interview, be sure to come back and type that in because that's a lot, and I'm sure I'm gonna
Absolutely.
butcher. So be sure to come back
Absolutely.
and that. So what is the best piece of advice you have received on this homeschooling journey, Traverro?
I think the best piece of advice that I received during my homeschooling journey is to be patient with the journey, be patient with myself, and be patient with my children.
Be patient with your journey, patient with yourself, and be patient with your children. That's good advice. All right, tell us, what is your favorite book? If you've read a book that you've read to help you prepare for homeschooling, or maybe a video or online resources, something that has helped you.
During homeschooling, um, I can't say one in particular. I think one that I utilize regularly because we focus on character building is character building for African scholars, grades 1 through 3 by Nicola Asante. And her books are sold on the Kamali Academy website as well as Amazon.com.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you got to put that in the show notes too. So in the comment sections, because that sounds good. Character building for African scholars. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So we're on our last question. The $1,000,000 question. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So although you've only been homeschooling for 2 years so far, but if you had to start all over again to day number 1, what would be the
Yes.
first thing, Traverro, that you'd be sure to implement in your homeschooling journey this time around? Or what would be something you're sure to not do this time around?
You know what? I'm going to tell you already because I already have it as my next step. I would implement essential oils, using a diffuser with essential oils around the house, and incorporating music into our homeschool day. And when I say music, I don't mean as a class. I literally mean having a sound consistently going that is at least 400 megahertz in the house. When I tell you, we started doing that about 3 months ago, and my children pay attention. They are more relaxed. They are so calm as we're moving around the house, as we're doing lessons. It has made a tremendous difference. And that was something that I did for myself, but the byproduct was that it helped them as well.
Yeah, so I don't know if everyone understands the megahertz and stuff like that. So is there a specific type of music that you listen to? Explain that real quick about the music. I know a little bit, and we do this in our home, but you share from your
Okay.
perspective.
I literally go to YouTube and type in 400 megahertz frequency music,
Yes.
and sound vibration
Yes.
actually corresponds to our brain and to our bodies.
Yes.
So we respond at a certain frequency
Yes.
for healing and things like that. And so 400 megahertz actually helps the body heal. And so with that, I've just seen tremendous differences for me and for my kids.
Absolutely. Yes. So if you don't know that, I got into megahertz, listen to megahertz sounds and music as just aligning my chakras. And so I don't, same idea. So you all check it out. Go onto YouTube. I don't know. I guess you can put in 400 megahertz, but put in chakra music. That's what I would kind of, because it'll give you all the megahertz for different parts of your body. That would just
Absolutely.
Yes, benefits. So kudos, very good. All right, I love it. So is there anything that you would not implement into your homeschooling journey?
We are a strictly African-centered homeschool. I don't utilize any authors that are not from the African diaspora. The books that my children read, I research and Google the authors first. And if they don't coincide with our homeschool and family goals and beliefs, we don't utilize it. So we're very specific and intentional
Love it.
with what we use inside our homeschool.
Yes, I love it. I'm over here. I could actually scream like, ah! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, girlfriends. So listen, this is Traverro Harden-Ali that we have had today. So let me tell you, if you don't know, girlfriends, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with in this past hour. You've been hanging out with Traverro Harden-Ali out of North Carolina, homeschooling mom. She's a mom of 5 children. She's homeschooling 4, ages 7 all the way down, 7, 6, 5, and 3. And this mom, as well as you heard, be sure to hit the replay. We are going to dive in deeper on a few things when we do our podcast. So you want to go ahead and also be prepared for the podcast that will come out soon. We're going to dive in a lot more into this homeschooling with special needs as a parent. We hear a lot of homeschooling children with special needs, but we don't hear about parents with special needs and that whole dynamic and the support that we need as parents. Last year was a very hard year for me. I was on the bed of depression and just a lot was going on, and I didn't have a sister circle to grab into. All right. And so when you're going through that, Traverro, you can feel like an island to yourself. But thankfully, I was able to, through, I know people were praying. I know God, He heard me. I cry and brought me out of that. But it was a whole 8 months of just like, it was bad. It was really, 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 really bad. So I can't imagine adding anything on top of that. So Traverro, my heart goes out to you, and I champion you. I just megaphone you. I exalt you, and just give you all the accolades and applaud you for having stuck through that very hard time. So way to go, girlfriend. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. I received that. Thank you.
yes, very much. So, all right, girlfriends, let me let you know. Just remember that to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling. So, so keep making that positive impact day after day and year after year. So, Traverro, I have got to ask you, do you have any last words of advice for the girlfriends? And please let us know what you have your hands involved in so we can come and, support you as your village.
Absolutely. Well, our recently published book called Homeschooling While Black, Consciously and Purposefully Educating Our Black Children is now available on our website. The regular price is $15, but we actually have a coupon code today, HWB15. All of our online African-centered learning products are 15% off. We have plenty of free products as well, because our goal is to positively influence and help every African family we can start homeschooling, whether it be part-time or full-time. You can find our website at www.homeschoolingwhileblack.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. Any last words of advice for the girlfriends?
Mamas, you are awesome. We are the backbone of this community. We are the first and the last educators. Be patient with those babies. Be patient with yourself. It is a journey, not a sprint. It will all come together.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. All right, you all go and look up Traverro and her resources. This is why we connected, because we have like vision. And I'm going to tell you something. And I say this from just a lot of the heated things that have gone on that I have been aware of recently, and then just being part of this African diaspora community. We have to be great about not having a mentality of lack. You know, oftentimes we come from a place of lack, but we have to have a mindset of abundance. There is enough of us
Absolutely.
that we can all rally together to support each other, even if things look the same or sounds the same. And I rally and
Ashe.
support Traverro and all she's doing. Her vision is to also support, empower, and equip those in the Black African homeschooling, that let me say it right, the African diasporic homeschooling community. She is there. I am there. There are so many of us that are in this position, driving forward to support our own.
Absolutely.
And there's no place for competition, but there's a lot of
Absolutely.
place of abundance. So we can't come from a place of lack. If we come from a place of lack, then I will not support Traverro, because I think she's going to steal what belongs to me. I could call out some other names on here, and if I come from a place of lack, then I'm going to think that they're going to steal what belongs to me. But place of
Absolutely.
abundance, my girlfriends in homeschooling, and as we support, dream it up. What can we do collectively to support one another in this place of educating our own children? Whatever that looks like, we all need to have our hands in it, and we need to be doing it, and we need to be supporting each other while we do it. That is an
Absolutely.
abundant mindset. All right. So I just had to
Absolutely.
say that little platform, because I rally behind what she's doing. I cannot wait to be a part of that. And she likewise to what we're doing. We are
Absolutely.
collectively supporting our own. And that's what it's all about. We've always been put in a position to tear each other apart, or just small little things to tear us apart. No, we
Absolutely.
need to make every effort to gather together and support one another, and to
Ashe.
herald what each other are doing. Is that an amen? I see it. Amen. That's beautiful. I love it. Yes, absolutely. So, all right, we
Absolutely.
got a lot more coming, because it's a lot of us to give some support to, right? So, all right,
Absolutely.
girlfriends, that's my soapbox. But of all, thank you for joining here. This is Traverro Ali that you have seen in this beautiful interview. Hit the share button. Please, please, please. Yes, hit the share button. Put a 1 down if this is your first time seeing this. Put it in the comment section. Put a 2 down below if you've seen this platform before and you support it. I love you all. Thank you, Traverro. Girlfriends has Guide to Homeschooling. We appreciate you, which is me. I'm the we. I appreciate you, and I am thankful to you for your hands that you have in the homeschooling community, and for all that you're doing to support our
Absolutely.
brown family. So thank you so much. Thank you, Traverse.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Until next
Peace.
time, girlfriends, peace to you all, and we will be back soon. And again, I'm the we. I talk about myself as we. I am the we. I will be back with you soon with another interview and podcast drop coming soon. Look us up on educating. I'm the us. I'm the us. Look me up. Look it up on educating our own. The platform on Facebook, Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, and Girlfriends Chat. Connect and get some encouragement and resources that you very much well need, and others may need too. All right, take care. Peace. Thank you, Traverro.
Thank you.